Hello, hello. We are skirting the edge of a storm right now, but hopefully this goes well. Let's see. I'll chat. Babe, your phone?
Yeah, I was about to ask, how do you want me to...
Yeah, so it should be set up
I
to
guess
go.
just holding it.
Yeah. It should be set up to go. I guess the cold open doesn't have it. All right. So thank you all for joining us. Oh boy. So we have with me today several members from my club. But first up, I've got Ben over here. He's the head instructor for the KDF curriculum, and he's been my instructor for several years now. So I figured it'd be good to open with him, and we'll see where we go and see how long this weather holds out. So we're gonna open with that, and then we will go from there. Let's see, how are we doing on that? Oh, good, yep, good.
And for everyone on TikTok, obviously Robin Swords is occupied. We're just doing practice sparring with different members of the Triangle Sword Guild, so feel free to ask questions. I'm going to be maintaining the chat, and I'll be passing along questions when they take a break. Trying to keep them in frame. Thank you for sharing the list.
On frame. Oh, sure.
Kind of street rules. We want everyone to go home in one piece, but if you guys have questions, just put them in the chat. Yeah, we're not doing full gear today, so we do have some skin exposed. If you weren't here for the introduction, of course, Robin Swords on the left, and then one of our lead instructors, Ben, who started the Triangle Sword Guild, and who's been Rob's instructor since
I guess I want you to just keep your eyes on the camera and just kind of nudge in the right way. Just to make sure we're not watering out.
For the members, as you're popping in. What makes you nervous? Don't be nervous. We're trained professionals. They're still wearing quite a lot of gear. You can see hands are nice and padded, helmets on, the padded jackets that we use. They're not fake, but they are blunt. We don't spar with sharp swords, of course. Let's take them down.
That was a good soft one for that one.
That was a good one.
So
Yeah, how's it going down, Love?
swords, sorry, but blunted.
Let's chat.
Someone wants me to say hi to you,
What?
so I'm saying hi.
Hi.
The chat's starting to pick up.
Oh, that's good. How are we doing over there?
At top, you had 300. We're at like 115 right now.
115. All right,
I don't
let's
know
see.
about you two.
So that was my instructor. I guess next we'll do my student.
Oh no. All
Come,
right.
You're up.
My student. So, that was me fighting my instructor. Now I'm fighting my student.
They're both using longsword setters. I know Rob is from Siggy. I'm not sure about the red fighters. We're going to call them red and blue. We'll check with the time being. I think all we've got out here are feathers. Huh? Oh, and yeah, they were both going for the takedown, but it is raining here right now. I don't know if y'all can tell. We're hoping the rain would hold off, but it was right. They were both sliding a little bit. Yeah, we're on the east coast of the U.S. There's a huge band of rain come through.
Good one.
There you go.
Good. I've seen that before.
I know he's mentioned SoCal, but we are in North Carolina. That would be a way. So he's talking about going to Surfo, possibly in a photo. Pretty bad. The storm is there again.
Ow. All right. Yeah.
Fighting in the rain.
Yeah. No, I'm not down.
The wind takes you out.
Ow.
You alright?
Yeah, mud got me.
Ice or something?
I'll be okay.
You're talking about how it's just going to be a mud puddle out there.
Yeah, it's gonna end up being, yeah, if the rain picks up. It's gonna get pretty muddy.
Yeah, you look muddy.
How are you feeling? This is-
Someone said the wind makes it dramatic.
Oh, does it?
Good fight, Tucks lives.
Yeah. I thought you were going for something like sort of like really sneaky, like lunge cut to the leg. I was like, oh, he got me there, good.
I kind of was, but not really.
I swear. The storm was holding off right up until the stream started. It was beautiful weather right up until that. Just look at the chat. Whoa, there's lightning.
I was going to say, that's lightning that's on airplane.
Yeah, that's
That
lightning.
went on too long.
Dang. Do we want to withdraw and see if the rain passes?
Yeah.
Or
You're up next with you. If you want to fight it,
we can get like one more in. We're gonna get one more in and then maybe pull into the house and keep the light going there and see if the weather breaks and go from there.
You got plenty of trees. Go get that first.
That is not where you want to be.
Got one more fight. We're gonna go inside. Have all the other weapons. Everything they have. Yeah, we do have kind of color coded here. I'm still color coded.
That's really coming down now. Woo! Damp. Very damp. Woo! Well, fascinating.
What happens? Okay. Hey, you're one more people.
I think Molly's still on.
I want to shake my head, but it's not gonna work.
That's gonna make it worse.
Hello, 200 people, now that we're inside. I think everyone saw me running from the rain. They were like, what the heck is going on?
Oh. Woo.
Alright,
Oh, damn.
I'm trying to set my phone up somewhere y'all can see, and then I'm gonna get right off. Sorry, TikTok.
Well, hopefully that breaks.
TikTok's here. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know where to put my phone,
That's kind of the problem.
so that it's like, and the dog's got a squeaky toy.
I don't have a solution for you.
You did?
What?
Rosie.
Who's that over there?
We don't need a license, no. If we wanted to fire the musket, getting black powder is very hard. Someone asked if we need a license for all those weapons.
Oh, no. Fortunately not. So, let's see if we can get that to spit itself out. And we can keep the line going in here for a bit. We have quite a lot of experience in this room at the moment.
I'm just gonna keep spanning over you
Well,
guys.
it's mostly these two guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been doing it like 2.5 and a year.
Yeah. Mine's like year and a half-ish at this
Yeah.
point. Rob taught me everything I knew. No.
Wow.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ben, what about you? How long are
I think it's 18.
18? Yeah, you definitely win. You
But
said
experience
year and a
can
half? So it was a year and a half, 2.5 years.
Older than my kids.
Rob, you're at almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Almost there. We are not in Florida, North Carolina. Thank you, Zip-Tick. Someone knew we were in North Carolina.
Oh, wonderful. That was pretty cool fighting around, though, I gotta say.
Yeah.
No, I was sitting there and I was at this point.
I was like, yeah, I'm in the mode.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm in the mode.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the lightning, I would have kept going, but
Yeah.
don't exactly want to swing lightning rods around.
Yeah.
Yeah, lineup's pretty great.
Moving into like the half sword duel
Uh-huh.
with the rain splashing in my face, I was like, this is awesome.
I didn't even get to see that. I was too busy running up here to get my stuff back from ranking.
Yeah, that helps. I wish this chat would stay open more.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you want me to like tell you what, because comments are coming up,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
if
don't
you
want to
can-
like keep.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, that's kind of like the idea of the stream things work.
One person is determined that you guys are Power Rangers, because
We're
we're
Power
all
Rangers.
color-coded.
We colored
Yeah, we do like a little bit of color there.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know about the muskets. Someone was wanting to know how long you've been doing this, and then you guys kind of naturally went in that direction.
Yeah.
Someone just said, "What is it for?" I don't know quite what they mean. They're going to war. When did you get back to MC? We've been here for a while. What is everyone's favorite weapon to fight with?
Oh, there we go. I can certainly work our way around.
Andrew, what's your favorite weapon to fight with?
Highland Broadsword. Probably my favorite.
What makes it your favorite?
Absolute hand protection is very nice. Can't break fingers if you have steel in front of it. Well, actually, if you break a finger in this, something else has gone horribly wrong. If something's good enough to punch through this, then
Or you caught the angle just right to like
Yeah.
sneak in.
well, that's what this leather liner is for. Actually, we made these because I did catch a thrust once directly through here, and by catch I mean I pinched it with my 2 fingers in my basket, and I was like, uh-oh.
Alright, Ben, what's yours?
Probably have to say longsword because that's what I do the most. But
That's a good answer too.
sword, muffler, a little bit of wrestling, and formally dagger.
Man, I couldn't tell you like to wrestle.
Wrestling is my favorite. I've done wrestling my entire life, and now I'm doing female wrestling. And whatever steel weapon I pick up, I usually try to throw it out and toss somebody.
So you like when swordfighting ends up in a grapple?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I love HEMA. There's just so much to it, and it's really about what you're doing rather than what's in your hand. So that's my favorite aspect about it. But steel-wise, probably Swordfighting.
Oh, now I gotta put my camera down. Oh, let's see. If it wasn't obvious, I like the longsword the most. I just like the versatility it stands for. I like the degree of action that can be made with it. You know, you have potentially pretty much like any one-handed action you want. Plus, you now have all these two-handed actions, and there's so much complexity with how these two hands can interact with each other to bring you to these like really interesting positions that you don't really have access to with a one-handed sword. I just find that fascinating, and I just think this big, fun two-handed sword. They're nice.
I think someone missed the rain because they said you all look like you just came out of a sauna. That would be the rain outside.
Yes, I mean a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I'm cooking in here.
But they did say about was good when you look like you just came out of a sauna, which is still a good point.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. What else? Any other things coming?
What inspired the beginning? I guess that goes back to you, founder.
Oh, so for me, like my beginning of me as HEMA or me as TSG?
They didn't specify.
So,
They said their beginning.
so wanting to play with swords, loving swords, like I think, growing up with like sword, like Lord of the Rings and the sword movies and those kind of things, obviously I was a kid that like loved to hit things with sticks. And then kind of always was looking for that outlet. Went to grad school, needed something that wasn't me in my head all the time, and swords was it. So grad school went away, but swords never did. So
It's good when grad school goes away.
yeah, thankfully.
Love to hear that as one of younger.
Yeah, good luck, man. Have fun.
I specifically avoided grad school for that reason.
Yeah.
For the person who has, have they thought yet? Yes, it's raining outside. We're going to see if it moves out. And so we're just kind of hanging out in front. Let's see. Someone asked about pole arms,
Hold on.
which I don't think I've panned over. Where are they?
Well, there's some on the table right now.
Oh, right. Done.
What are your questions?
We have someone, is it Zipty? Ziptic? If you want to specify your question, just says, do any of you all like to use pole arms or use pole arms at all? Opinion on using a dagger in each hand.
You did that during a demo.
Yeah, I did that.
You did that.
I
during
did
a
that.
demo. I had 2 spears and you had 2 daggers, and
That was interesting.
the daggers won.
The daggers did win. I think they won because I had some of the hyping.
That's fair.
So the reach advantage on the daggers was not great, but once I got past the spear, then it's just like stand happy town. But I think outside of that specific context we were in, where the spearmen didn't really have any room to move, because we were on a stage, it wouldn't have gone my way quite so readily.
Yeah. If we had more room, that would have been interesting, but there was a silver screen with which we were not to touch under probably penalty of death, so.
That has to be an expensive screen that we were.
Oh, it's
well, we're in
ungodly
front of.
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I can see that.
I mean, with 2 daggers, you lose your ability to grapple with the other hand.
I don't know if you pitched the dagger.
So,
Which is true, yeah.
I feel like dagger would
I
be
mean,
easiest
you have
to
some
draw.
grappling with the actual hooking of the.
You do, but there's so much like advantage to just that collar grab and keeping them at that arm's length and just stab.
Yeah, but I figure going in with the 2, you just as long as you're willing to just ditch at the moment, it's not useful to you.
Right.
That's it works out.
there is a guy in the armor scene who wears 2 daggers. One
So
on
that
each
you can
hip,
draw
so
with
he can draw for either side, but I don't think he's ever.
Double dagger.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if you're in a cover here, you might want to get in the cover there, you want to that way. So I can definitely see, and it's not like the daggers pick up much. The flip side of that is wearing the 2 daggers means that when you're in a grapple with somebody, there's always a dagger that they can go for on you,
True.
which is the trade-off. And someone was asking in this chat, not to neglect the YouTube chat, because this is the reason why we're here, specifically that big shiny button right there is why we're all here today, getting drenched. So somebody in this chat asked, what's everybody's least favorite sword?
Least favorite sword. I don't know if
That's something you haven't.
I'm less of a fan of side swords, but that's probably because I haven't tried it very much yet.
Side sword does take some getting used to, especially with like that extended finger grip strength. I used to get a lot of hand cramps when I first started side sword. Least favorite sword. Gosh, I love all swords. I guess maybe saber, which is really funny because I like broadsword.
That is fascinating. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. It's just like, it just, like, I like it, but it's like not, I feel like it's controlling me rather than me controlling
That
it.
is, yeah, that is kind of the thing. And immediately, I have one with me right
Oh,
now.
how exciting.
I'm not prepared myself on this chair.
You get so much year round, you jack up again.
Oh my god, my bag is soaked. But I do have an 1803 pattern light infantry saber. I think it's a light infantry. But the whole mechanics of the cut is it wants to go. So when you start the momentum, it wants to mull an A and flow into another cut. Whereas the broadsword is very snappy in the cut and snap and thrust kind of stuff. So yeah, if you're not a fan of the sword kind of controlling you a little bit, then makes sense.
I,
You have
I
a least
can't think of a least favorite. Yeah, it's probably just a sword that I haven't tried before, right? Right. I think most swords that I play with, I like.
As long as it's a sword, if it's a cutty thing or a stabby thing,
Yeah. I'll keep thinking
you're
about
gonna like it. Do you have a least? Did you answer this one?
I have not. I'm really restricted to things I've actually like used, and I feel like that's probably the messer of the things I've used. I don't know. I don't dislike. So like, you know, if the question is what's my least favorite, so it's not like a matter of like disliking it. But of all the swords I've used, I find messer fighting to be like the least fun for me. I don't know. I spent time with it and everything, but I've had a hard time defining the quality of it. I guess it's just the fact that it just feels like a knife fight. It feels more uncommon with a knife fight to me than it feels like a sword fight. But as much use as that saying possibly gives, because the fundamentals kind of remain fairly similar across the board. But insofar as one can define the two as separate things, it feels more like a knife fight to a sword fight to me. But that's just my opinion on it.
I think that's fair because it's Messer. I like Messer, but I found it's harder to have a Messer fight that I enjoy because I think it can turn into a saber fight really fast if somebody else is thinking of Messer in a different context. Right.
And then if you're trying to use a messer like the saber, then it's just a less fun saber.
Right.
The saber in closer range too.
Yeah.
Just because they're shorter.
Well, I like Messer because it's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, I think if you do it right, like that's what's fun. It's like it turns into like a game of playing that distance really carefully because when you're really close, you're really close.
Yeah.
And then knowing how to wrestle with it, I think, as well.
Queen's up there.
So people who play that way, it's so much fun,
Messer.
right?
Yeah.
People who don't play that way, it's frustrating. You're just-
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the messer.
Very
And
short.
Ziptic, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but there is, what is
What, the Montante?
Montante? Okay, yeah, the word escaped me.
Montante.
Is that one, it's up on the wall
The
right
Queen of Swords.
Queen of Swords.
Let's see, do we have any other questions coming in? Let's look at that.
It is
Chat
a
on
constant,
TikTok.
like,
You have any other questions that I've missed?
It's not it.
it's not like deluge like before, but it's
Might be worth
pretty
one.
consistent.
Might be worth going back out soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on if the thunder's still going. I don't want getting wet. I don't know if anything
Yeah,
else.
as you were saying that, I hear thunder rumbling in the background.
Yeah, it's mostly the thunder washing
Someone
out.
said opinion on the, it's Jian. I don't want to butcher that word.
Jian?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's a Chinese sword. I've never used one before, so I don't have anything to comment. Anyone else have anything to me? I don't like commenting on things I've never.
I haven't really used one. Played around with it, I don't know what I'm doing.
And someone asked hardest sword to learn.
Hardest sword to learn. Interesting.
That's where we're at in the chat right now.
For me, personally, I would say rapier is the hardest.
I think I'd agree with that. Just from at least very minimum, like the biomechanics standpoint of it, I think is challenging. Longswords are very easy in the body mechanics sense. It's just like it's all a lot of like fairly. You can work it from a lot of fairly neutral body positions, and the two hands mess people. I think the main thing is that the two hands mess people up on longswords. So I would imagine. I wonder what the easiest sword would be. So I know we start people on longswords, but I know the two hands mess people up all the time.
Easiest sword is probably saber.
Saber broadsword in the sense that coordinating cuts with footwork specifically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the, specifically what our group started with was British military saber, specifically Roworth for a source. It was designed to be taught to your everyday average Joe needs to be out on the battlefield yesterday. So you get an 8-week like boot camp of how to fight with a sword and hopefully not die. And they shove you out there. So it's generally the most straightforward and easy thing to kind of get you in the door.
I also think just like a natural human instinct is like when you tell them to hit something, I feel like their instinct to like is to just kind of bash. And a saber, like I feel like a saber cut, learning a saber cut is a more natural human expression of movement than teaching them to go like lunging through or just using the point in some way. I think it is a little more elusive to like instinct. I think the working the thrust really well, I think, is a more learned skill than learning to cut is. Not in the again, not to say that cutting isn't skillful and then thrusting isn't, but I think just like you give somebody a weapon and you give them a like rapier and you give them a like falchion, I think they're probably gonna like, and you tell them to just go with no training, I think they're gonna be more useful with the falchion than they are with the rapier.
Now you got a little bit of soup bowl right there.
Yeah.
I guess I got my fights against all you. Yeah.
How are we looking?
How's it looking?
I checked the lightning radar. There's
Pretty constant.
Yeah, we could keep it to just the deck. Look at the rod. Yeah, I don't know if that's better or worse.
It's higher,
Yeah.
closer to the lightning?
I don't know about thunder, right? Like, so that way we can pull inside very quickly. Because we can open up this door here and get a full spread.
It's not a huge space. If you were to go onto the thing, pretty slippery.
Maybe. Maybe. We can train.
I mean, you've got the flood on the ditch, but it may not be that flooding from the hill.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know.
Should be on the hill.
Yeah, you can see where he tends to record his videos
What?
because there's like no grass there.
No grass.
Touch grass.
I deeply appreciate everybody sticking in this chat, though. We stayed, I don't know if we stayed constant over that. I imagine we've lost quite a few on the
We're down to 42, but now a couple people had mentioned where Rosie was.
Oh, we stayed pretty
Set
constant
share
over here, which
mascot.
is nice. Hello, everybody. Thank you for staying with us. We want to try to get something moving, but
Mother Nature has struck again.
Trampoline.
on the trampoline, a wet trampoline.
Do stacks on the trampoline.
That's a great
It's a recipe for disaster without weapons.
I mean, if we set up over there, I mean, it doesn't. I haven't heard lightning in a while.
It's only been a few minutes because you were just talking about it what, 5 minutes ago, and it was
Yeah.
rumbling as you were talking.
Was it on one? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was listening to it
Oh well,
out
shucks.
back. That might have been the last time.
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, we're scoping it out.
We could dig here and wrestle in the living room.
Oh, jeez. I'll do that in a while. I was thinking we do the sparring for a while, and then we could like work through techniques, but it rained out here.
It's a shame. It started like
It was really, I wish I'd scheduled it like even an hour earlier. We would have been perfect.
Let's see.
But alas.
News class. Okay, I was making sure we were caught up on YouTube chat as well.
Yeah, not
That's
too
probably
busy
the
on
least
YouTube chat
favorite.
right now.
TikTok or YouTube. Any other questions you'd like them to answer while I'm in between the two
Yes,
devices?
yes. While we have all the swords and things.
Someone says, has anybody tried the M-I-A-O-D-A-O, or the katana. If so, what did you think? What's your katana?
Andrew.
Oh,
We have a katana and tachi.
Yes. Well, both of them are katanas. Well, one's an uchi katana, one's a tachi.
So he has a little bit of practice with those.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful maker. Two wonderful makers, wasn't it?
Yeah, two different people.
makers.
Yeah, two different people.
I think that's.
I wish I could like put like a big splashing like it's pouring rain outside. We're waiting just so like people wandering in. They'll be like, "We'll resume once the rain has abated."
Yeah,
How's it looking in there?
it's pretty soft.
Pretty soft.
Maybe if we arrange around the chairs, that area is pretty solid,
Okay, we can do that.
but it's still coming out
Yeah.
pretty steady. But yeah, up back there is actually, with the roots and the lighter dirt, it's pretty soft up there.
Zip Tip, are you in North Carolina as well, or I know you said you were somewhere away from us. They said the rain over near them is down to a drizzle, so I'm wondering how
Yeah,
close or how far.
yeah, if the rain can just let up, it'll be good.
Okay. Yeah, they said, and I'm guessing they agreed to NC.
Mm.
Yeah, it was beautiful 2 hours ago.
I mean, it's
It dried
beautiful.
up and
It's
everything.
beautiful even an hour ago.
Yeah.
It was dry and sunny and
Yeah, as I was coming back from groceries, I just looked and it was beautiful blue sky and just omen of death
Yeah.
on the other side.
Driving through it, there was a point when it was like, just, you couldn't see anything, all of a sudden, just sun.
yeah. Now I hit like 2 different bands of like torrential downpour on my way over here.
Well, if we hadn't said it, we're glad you came out all this way
yes, yes.
for this live stream.
Never actually been to your house. So.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning for 3 days.
Yeah.
We'll
I
feed
know
you.
how it
Feed
is.
you for the trouble.
Yep. I was like, no, there's new people coming.
Yeah, no, my favorite part is you caught me slipping on camera. It's great.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
keep that for posterity.
hundreds of people.
Yeah, that was when there was like 220 something people in here.
200 people.
Awesome, I love it. Especially if my parents are watching. Hi.
Hi.
I'd love to hear about that later.
Someone wants to, well, they call it silly gear, but they want to know what's with the gear.
What's with the
So
gear?
it's probably a good time to talk about protection.
Protection. What's with the gear?
You're talking about my shorts?
Those are wonderful shorts. There's
I
nothing
mean,
silly
you
about
always
them.
have good color, like pattern combos.
I like to break up the HEMA black, which is why most of nothing, I don't really have anything that I own that is HEMA black.
What about all that black stuff there?
Full duffel bag.
It's accent colors.
Accent black. Accent black.
Yeah.
Nothing but accent black. Yeah, so the most important thing here is the jacket, I think. Oh, the mask actually is the most important thing.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
We
The
like
most
our
important thing is the
eyes.
mask. I was just thinking what I'm wearing. Where's the mask? Here's the mask. Oh, it's a
The
different
person
color
who
now.
asked said they muted it for the explanation.
What?
They're just being a troll.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you know.
But it is good to talk about protection for the
This
other
is-
people. We're
Absolutely.
back up to 51.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the basic fencing mask. This is a fairly standard like Olympic style fencing mask, but we have an overlay on ours because of the way the cut's can be delivered. They can kind of wrap around the back of the head sometimes. So we have firm defense in the back, which protect the back of the neck and everything. Really important there. You know, good for taking the hits there.
Oh, no, I was wrong. They said there was no sound for the explanation, and they
Oh.
clarified that they're not joking.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully there's sound.
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah, hopefully there's sound. Yeah, so
I don't know
basic,
what
basic fencing mask overlay, takes the hits. You can actually see out of these really well. Some people, you have to kind of adjust because you have to like look, you have to focus past the mask, and that trips people up, but you develop, you get used to it really quickly. Then there's gloves. There are so many different kinds of gloves. There's,
Yeah, I have the 5 fingers.
yeah, you can have some that have 5 fingers, you can have some that have mitts.
Oh,
Come closer to those.
So you might have fingered gloves, you might have mitts. Mitts. I feel like I should have just,
Not wooden swords, metal swords.
Hey, Rob.
Hmm?
Incoming.
yeah, so here's some more 5-fingered. What are these? These are the sparring infinities.
Yeah.
So, you know, basically a plastic gauntlet, essentially. Let's see. Fencing jackets. So these are padded. Mine's 800 Newton rated, some are 350. They double over in the front to give you a little extra protection, just in case. If all of the swords we fight with are blunts, but if a blunt sword breaks, it's now a pointy sword. So the Newton rating on this is basically to help you, to save you in the event that a sword breaks and then that broken edge stabs at you. That's kind of the hope here, is that protects you from that. And then there's also just padding to help take some of the blows.
Yeah, even an extra layer of protection is a plastic plastron.
And that segues nicely. Someone had asked, have any weapons broken during sparring? So you had mentioned
So
that
many.
the tip breaks.
I've broken a tip once. Somehow I've not broken swords, knock on wood.
Have you broken any weapons?
Have I broken
Any-
other people's?
Yeah, have you broken other people's?
I don't think so. Maybe at most one. I'm not sure.
Whose feather exploded during Raleigh Open last year?
I think that was somebody with a steel one, sort of.
Uh,
Oh, no, wait, it was Dustin. His peen pommel snapped.
Yeah.
And
And
all
the sword
the
just starts
parts
falling.
Yeah, the pollen, it just went it's into pieces, and everybody was like,
That's terribly unfortunate.
I missed that whole thing. I must have been in my pool or something.
I heard it explode, but I think I was judging, or no. I was recording time at the point, so I couldn't like look away, but I heard something happen. Oh.
What? Oh.
Someone made a joke about just the tip. Someone's critiquing my kitchen. Hey, if you want to buy me copper cookware, I would put up copper cookware.
What? They don't like our kitchen?
They said the lack of copper. I would love some copper cookware.
Yeah, send us
I do not
copper.
have the money for copper cookware.
Send us copper.
That could be your next, like, I don't know who makes cookware, but like, be sponsored by some cookware
Sponsored
one
by
time.
cookware?
Okay, we see HelloFresh everywhere. We can do cookware. Yeah.
And then get sponsored by cookware.
I mean, Gordon Ramsay was doing hexclad stuff, so why not get Test Yield to make us some.
They said a kitchen as nice as ours deserves copper cookware.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's nice.
Pots and pans are, put it on the shield. Prepare for just the tip.
Shield.
It came out very nice.
Yes, I'm very pleased with this shield. Actually,
I didn't know if you were going to talk about the
Oh,
shield.
I was just holding it. I was just like, I love it.
It's your new toy.
It's my new toy. New toy. Now I can do the shield. I can go all shield and miss. Now and just ruin everybody's day.
Horrifying.
That base looks painful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is it Emerald? Thank you, Emerald. They said we have a very nice looking home.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, that's not sparring grade right there.
That's Gallagher grade.
I mean, you'll spar with it once.
It'll quickly turn into something else.
I think it'll turn into a murder charge.
Yeah.
That's,
Man, one of these days I just need to get like a sacrificial fencing mask and just.
Oh, I got a bunch of old ones.
Oh,
You want to do?
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just put that through a mask.
We always have old masks.
That'd be
around.
deeply entertaining.
people do love videos where you destroy things.
Boom, straight in. That'd be great.
I know, I forget the name of the YouTube channel. It was Rogues Gallery, I think, where the one guy's the magician and his best friend, and they go around picking up rogue skills. And
Oh, yeah.
one of them was, or there's a couple of them that are HEMA, and one was quarterstaff, and they quarterstaffed a fencing mask and just crushed it.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
And that's why we
big
don't.
stick, right?
And that's why we don't hit friends with the quarterstaff.
Yeah.
friends don't hit friends with quarterstaffs.
No. No, they do not.
Did we get some more questions?
Well, I think like we're back up to 50 people, so I keep seeing joined. Should make a mold of a skull, human or goat. Make the mace part with it.
Oh,
Why does that sound so much worse?
I'm still trying to get my head on one of those zombie go boom heads, but I have not heard back from them.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, to anybody, if my anonymous donor is in this chat, I have not forgotten the donation to buy one of those heads. I can't find one. I'm trying very hard. I don't want to get one of those.
Where do you even buy one?
From Zombie Go Boom, but they won't email me back. It's very unfortunate. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if they're even in business anymore. When was the last time Scholar did this video as one of those?
You can probably go on like Etsy and find someone that makes like ballistic.
Pretty neat.
Stars.
I mean, I can get.
I know, but everything I mean.
Well, I can get a ballistic head, like jelly head, but that's the whole.
Not the same as zombie goat.
Yeah, it's not the same. I'm specifically looking for the zombie goat boom thing where it has like a skeletal structure and everything. Because the whole point of doing it was so I could do that poleaxe video and try to like basically everyone was asking if my poleaxe would get stuck inside a zombie head, and so I was curious as to the result myself, and so I was like, you know what? I would love to actually put this to the test and find out for real if it would or not. I don't feel like it. I think the beak possibly could. I don't think that's gonna be stuck. So I think people saw the prongs here and they figured the prongs were gonna get stuck, but I don't think that's. I think against a skull, that whole thing's gonna punch a hole in there.
Sorry, Ziptic. A notification came through and I accidentally paused the live.
What maybe?
My bad.
I would think if you, like, through the side of the skull, like, if you punched a hole, and as long as you're able to get the same angle to pull it out, if you're off angle and you try to, like, wrench it out, it might get a little stuck.
Oh, we haven't been scrolling on YouTube.
Oh,
There's so much more chat.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm
I
so
just got
sorry.
I just got a text that
Oh
told me about
my-
YouTube.
Oh
No.
my goodness! I'm so sorry. I did not know we have been not scrolling. Okay, here. I'm gonna,
Like YouTube.
I didn't realize it was not scrolling. Okay, let's catch back up with chat. Let's see
Well, the
here.
last thing we saw was Mother Nature.
Oh, someone asked, do you all have other martial arts backgrounds? Also, I can chime that in real quick while I scroll. I've done Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo for like years. Back, I don't remember when I stopped, but yeah, I did Taekwondo for a long time before I did this. Anybody else?
Yeah.
You've got your wrestling.
Retired D1 heavyweight wrestler at NC State, and I stopped wrestling, and I immediately started doing HEMA.
I have no martial arts background, but I played lacrosse and football for nearly 10 years, so getting hit with things is familiar.
Yeah, none for me. I mean, when I started, I kind of had a lot of tangential exposure since I did HEMA, like knowing people who come in or going to train with other people who did the martial arts. But when I started, it was like none.
Let's see. We had another question. Let's see. What weapon is the most effective without having any experience? And are you not a beast? I don't know. We can focus on the first one. What do we think?
Spear.
Spear? Yeah, spear. Spear. Unanimous spear.
It doesn't take but like half an hour to train. You can get somebody pretty, basic spear skills.
I mean, yeah, pointy end, go that way.
Pointing and go down. I guess that circles back to what I was talking about earlier about like instinctive like striking. I wonder if there's a distinction in someone like you give somebody a spear and they go ha poke. But you give someone like you give someone just a stick and they go I'm gonna bonk with it. I wonder if there's a difference between like one-handed and two-handed instinctual. Because I feel like you give something long to somebody in two hands and instinctively they brandish it out.
Yeah.
But you give somebody something in one hand instinctually and I think they try to hit with it.
And people who have like some sort of swinging something experience, right? Like like bludgeoning weapons are easier to pick up than slicing weapons because there is that edge alignment and the dynamic of getting a cut right is actually more complicated and tricky than people give credit for.
Which is why I don't recommend swords for the zombie apocalypse, by the way. Like I feel like I would preface it. So when I did my I did a whole zombie thing for a while there, and so the reason why I said you don't do swords is because most, as Ben was saying here, the complexity of using a sword is I think more than anybody should any Joe Schmo who is in a zombie survival situation should reasonably expect to have the experience to do well. And I suppose you'd end with enough zombies around, you'd end up with enough experience pretty quickly, assuming you make it that long, right? But that's why when I make a general zombie recommendation, it's what is the most idiot-proof option I can think of. So that's why I gravitated towards this one because even if you miss with the head, you're still cracking them with a haft at the very end of that stick. I mean that's still
Cracking being the operative word here.
yeah, because even if you whiff on the hammer. You still have all the weight back there. So like, yeah, you're not getting all that impact strike, but this is still like hitting with some force, right?
It's enough.
It hits enough, right? Yeah. So even if you whiff on the actual head, you're still cracking them with that half at the very end of it, and I feel like that's worth mentioning. Let's see, what else did we have? We had. I wish the scroll wasn't on this side of the camera, so I keep blocking.
Why does it not auto scroll? Shouldn't it be-
What weapon did you not expect to enjoy as much as you did? Oh, and somebody votes for you. I don't know what the context is. They said, yes, I vote for the guy in yellow. That's. I don't know what they were voting for. I don't know what they voted for. I voted for you too. Oh, for wrestling? They vote for you for wrestling. Yeah. So okay, what did you not expect to enjoy as much as you did?
Dagger.
It's definitely got to be broadsword for me, because I went into it like, yeah, I want to do saber. Saber's cool, and the saber is the hero's weapon. But I was slowly, over the course of a few months, converted to the Cult of the Broadsword. Mostly because, I mean, a big chunk of it is because I have a steel basket. I don't have to wear a heavy glove on that hand, which makes cuts and movements much more fun and less cumbersome. With saber, and in the interest of being safe with saber, you really do need to wear a heavier glove to not break fingers, and something that covers the back of your hand and your wrist, because sabers, especially the big boy down there, they hit hard, and if you're not careful, they do hit hard, solely because they have a lot of momentum. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this one in particular is the least fun to get hit with, and honestly, this is probably the top end of what I would consider safe to spar with. When you start getting heavier than this, it's like, now that's a bone breaker. We don't like bone breakers because
No.
it keeps us from doing HEMA.
It does. I don't know if I have one.
For me, it's probably rapier. Didn't have done rapier in years, but I came into swords not expecting to be rapier, and then ended up doing rapier and really liked it for a while. Like I said, it's been years, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Right here. Yeah, they're interesting. I guess if I had to pick one, it'd be rapier. But I thought I'd enjoy rapiers anyway, so that wasn't quite a surprise. So I don't really have one that pretty much anything I've taken an interest in, I enjoyed it about as much as I expected I would. So nothing really for me there.
The more styles you end up doing, the more swords you get to buy.
Yes, this is true.
You can buy the swords anyway.
That's true. That's so true.
How often do we fence? A lot. We very, very regularly.
Yeah. Used to be every day for me.
Put the mask over the camera to show how you. I don't think that works because the camera's not going to focus right.
Maybe with the ring light?
Yeah, it's just going to focus on the. I think the camera's just going to focus on the mesh. Yeah, it's just going to focus. 3 swords broke at Raleigh. How many of us are going to Surfo?
I wish. I love Surfo. It's a lot of fun.
I know of at least 2 people that are.
I might go. I still haven't made up my mind. I have until May 28th or whatever to decide, but I really.
Trying to get people to go.
Yeah.
It seems to be like, for us, just bad luck weekend for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll be out of the country.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
June in general is pretty crazy for me.
Or it's just not stopping.
I don't think the ring got harder.
I think it did. I was sitting there like, that was heavier than it did before.
It is heavier.
Jeez.
It's heavier and consistent.
Haven't heard thunder in a while. Gonna just knock on wood here.
Jeez.
But yeah,
Whoop-de-doo.
are we caught up on YouTube?
I
feel terrible.
Yeah. My mom's here. Hi,
Hi,
Mom.
Yeah, she's the one that texted me.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
like, answer YouTube. I was like, what do you mean? That's why I ended up accidentally pausing TikTok because it switched apps.
I wonder if there's anything we can use what space we have here to just like, talk about something.
Any weapons that you haven't talked about from your cache of everything? we can ask your audience if there's a particular weapon they want to see. Yeah, dog gets jealous. Is it their treats?
Insisting that it'll focus for the mask. Yeah, okay, fine. There we go. I mean, it's a mesh. It's about what you'd expect. It's currently full of water.
Really?
There you go.
It's a wet mesh. It's not
Uh,
dangerous.
Yeah, it's not focusing very well.
Yeah.
Visibility's not nearly that bad.
Yeah, you can see pretty well out of these.
Well, the best part is in fluorescent lighting, it makes a really bad glare and it makes it impossible to see your opponent's sword.
Yeah, that part's fun.
Yeah.
The glare is very fun.
I mean, if you want to see at home, if you have one of those mesh colanders and just put it right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, that'll work.
Put a colander on your head and then
Yeah.
Woo! It's the thing, the great spaghetti monster or something. You get to wear a colander on your head.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that
yeah.
reason, sort of.
Yeah,
They had the right idea.
they did. They did. Pole lengths. Anything going on? Any questions in the chat?
No, it's just a bunch of join. Someone said never mind, so I don't remember what their question was.
The second you end, the rain go away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really. Yeah, if I say we're gonna end it, it's just gonna be that. That's gonna be it.
also there's a chance Josh walks in the door at any moment.
Right?
This is on his way.
The camera woman is into swords. I am just supportive.
I mean,
Not
at
as much as
the very least, Josh gets to pick up his partisan, so it's a win-win for him.
Yeah.
I'm very, very disappointed in the rain.
It's
Weather's so unpredictable like right now.
At one point it's rained, or at least it's rained every Friday for the last like 5 weekends in North Carolina. Saturday and Sunday was like a little less, but most weekends it has rained.
Unfortunately, there really wasn't another weekend we could have done this in the foreseeable future.
Oh, well, we should be doing sword fighting. If the rain lets up, I don't know if y'all can see on the porch. He is at again.
I mean, we could, I don't know, we could, is
I wonder
there,
if I like walk over there. Y'all get to see my front porch. Sorry, puppies. Their area is just getting so much smaller.
They're sleeping anyway.
Oh, we have a puddle in the backyard. We have a bunch of puddles in the backyard. Yep.
I'm willing to do some like slow stepping stuff on the deck or something.
Yeah.
Keep it slow.
We've been doing slow sparring in puddles.
We have, we could do some light stuff on the deck, I guess.
Yeah, I could let go this slow.
Yeah.
It's Washington, nothing.
Slow speed.
Yeah, we can try that.
Should probably do it.
We like our back porch.
Middle here.
Someone said indoor sword fighting, absolutely
Indoor sword
nothing at risk of getting broken.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing at all.
Every one of them. You do have high ceilings though.
Yeah.
We do,
Which is
but
cool.
Rob has already broken, I forgot, he bought like 6 replacements, because he broke the glass.
I have this exact one.
Yeah, it was easy to find a replacement, but he bought a bunch of them, because we figured, it was probably gonna happen again.
Okay, so we're gonna set the, I guess we'll
Alright.
set the camera up.
Where's the chat here?
Yeah,
Right.
disappears for life.
So I wanna make sure we're,
Can you fence with a montante or is it too dangerous? It's pretty much too dangerous. Like there are certain ways to like kind of make it work, ish, but it's never quite right.
Gotta play.
Yeah, it's a little gamey when you do it. It's difficult to make happen like in earnest. I guess we can put this like here. Let's see if we can make this work. We're gonna try this. We don't know how it's gonna work. Oh yeah, I guess this is your guys' turn now.
oh, back porch is clean now.
Slow stuff? Slow stuff on the...
Someone,
All right.
On TikTok was asking about sword and buckler. They didn't know what the small shields were called.
Yeah, as long as we stay on the mat here, it's not too bad.
I think if we're doing slow, we can have a chance. Like we're not.
I'm gonna try to give us a little more space for this. All right. It's held down by the chair, right? Oh, that's really down. Okay, that's not going anywhere. All right. This is gonna be fun. Rain fighting.
Yes, puppies.
So,
So these are two foster puppies that
Fighting
we have, so they have rescue
in the rain.
Oh goodness, they are
Oh, yep.
dropping all sorts of stuff.
Ugh.
While they're getting set up for some slow sparring. on the back porch.
Interesting.
What?
Yeah, I'll show you some puppies.
Well,
Oh, that's.
Did I kill you?
let's see here.
I didn't know that came apart.
Okay, well, I'm just a cameraman now. Hello. Sorry.
Sorry, they're quill and taffeta. They're two different types of ribbon. Is that what their naming convention? Yeah. I don't think they know what to do with all these people around. They're normally very happy, but there's a lot of we're picking on them. And they're out.
We are trying to get some sword fighting underway for anybody in chat right now. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh no, my hair. Oh Jesus.
We're gearing up. Yeah, if we can get room, we can get at least get that
Yeah.
door open.
Y'all haven't had to see me. Y'all got rained out earlier, so my hair is black.
Hey, we're up.
Yeah.
We have Ringling back.
Oh, we have it back. Cool. 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 Cool.
I was gonna say we should move this somewhere. You know we can just take those off.
Oh.
Like
okay.
they're. Yeah. The other live is on YouTube. Let me show you guys. This
Here
live
we
stream
go.
is actually
All right.
to celebrate Rob reaching 100,000
I'm gonna.
subscribers.
For now, I'm gonna.
But we didn't want to leave
Hold it here.
out as well. He got his
The trash
play
can is
button.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get around big. If I can get this. Oh, I don't know.
Whoa.
That sounds like a Josh.
It's a Josh. Oh, it's my dagger.
It's your dagger.
How about a dagger, honey?
Okay. Good for you. One more weapon.
Welcome to Essence of Wet.
The rain held out for like 2 hours, and then like 5 minutes into this live.
Literally, as soon as we started sparring, it started pouring.
I've never seen so many people parked under bridges, and then I was like, maybe I should be parked under a bridge. Is there like a tornado coming? I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
Lots of lightning earlier. Very rumbly.
To be fair, a bridge is the worst place to be if the tornadoes can be.
Hey, doesn't it create like a vacuum kind of effect?
It will basically turn it into a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
So if you're on foot, you'll get sucked out. Cars.
So currently they're fencing at a nice slow speed because the deck is wet, and we don't want them to fall and hurt themselves. So we're taking it nice and easy.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, like Andrew. Yeah, we're taking it nice and easy.
Oh, if we end today with only one injury, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget chat.
Yeah. Well, there's not been anything in chat I've seen.
Oh. Should have moved the grill out of the way.
The what?
The grill is
Oh.
just like front and center in the video here.
It would have given them a little more room, I guess.
Is that the TSG sponsored grip?
It should be.
Should be.
I gotta get blue everything.
Somebody give me one of those magnets to stick on it.
Oh, you haven't said hi to the dog. You have broken
Oh.
part of the rule.
The slice. Anything in chat?
People leaving, people joining, it's staying fairly constant. Everyone on TikTok, if you have questions about what they're doing, if you want to see something in particular, let me know. Yeah, just kick that out of the way.
Oh, well,
There it is
that's
again.
probably, that might be the cue to come in.
It was the
It's
entire
been
time
so
without the
long.
honey.
We were doing so well.
Oh, the puppies are scared. Uh-oh. They don't like the thunder.
I can see the YouTube chat. Right, sorry, I just got distracted. Let's see, any recommendations where I can get some good plate armor? Also, do we ever fence in full plate armor? Sometimes we do in plate armor. It's kind of hard to recommend any one place to get armor. There's a lot that goes into getting plate armor, so it's kind of hard to make any recommendations on that front. There's a lot of research that you need to do for yourself, in a way. There's just really no easy way to get into armor, unfortunately. Swords are a bit easier to get into. Oh, that was nice. So you can see them actively using that buckler to protect that sword hand.
Keep the dog from barking.
Coming out away from their body and then covering the hand with the buckler, kind of using it as a detachable, pardon, a detachable handguard. Let's see if I can set this up. Oh yeah, that works. So let's see. So part of the angling here is to make room for the sword itself. So if you see Ben taking up that posture where he's got that sword, or he's closing a line. So right there, he's got his buckler closing that top line there, rather than holding it directly. He's actively using it to close that shot towards his hand. So he's right there. He's kind of covering that sword hand from a shot to it from over the top. Whereas, depending on how it's engaged, that buckler might straighten as it comes back out. So adjusting the angle of the buckler on the fly is something that right there, it's straightened out for a bit. So you adjust the angle of that on the fly as according to what you're trying to cover. Hey! We got something. That was fun.
Good wet fun.
Good wet fun. We're making it work. Welcome. Welcome to the fun. The dampness.
Yeah. You got my gear?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can keep this rolling.
Slow speeds, like.
Yeah.
Someone said see you guys at Pensick?
Oh, Pensick.
That's the SCA.
Yeah, we went there. Or won't be, or something.
Yeah, we
Hi,
don't.
Vic. They were saying, have a good day, everyone. We're getting off the left.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope that's okay.
What are we going to do next?
I'm game for whatever.
Repeat.
Do what?
Same, more of the same. It's easier with a shorter sword.
Yeah, it is.
The kind of the space is limited, so a long sword may be tough,
Yeah, might be.
but
Do a solo method or something, just to change up the pace.
yeah. Keep doing sword buckler too.
Yeah.
Sword buckler's fun. I'm really rusty with it.
I don't know what my buckler is. I'll wander out for a bit. Look at the damp.
I had seen it the other day.
A buckler. Thank you. Mine is just all over there. He's kind of a pain. Okay.
So it's not a bad frame. No, never mind. Not as good as I
Okay.
thought. You can't quite get both people between the doorway and just being vertical. Oh, honeypot, I knew what I was getting into. Barely knew him when he started doing sword fighting. Don't ask what have you gotten yourself into. Lots of swords, lots of weapons. It's cool. And then dogs. So, yeah. I think both. I love Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. I'd have to pick Star Wars over Lord of the Rings. Rosie.
Yep.
You take this one. I was texting and I can't look at it. That was something to take a look. I'm gonna take her for a car ride in it. Yeah. Without her boyfriend. So, I'm gonna take him back home.
Yeah, that was
Get
sick.
another one.
So what happened there is I managed to, so that one was a little sneaky on my part. So what happened was I tricked him on I used my buckler to hide the thrust. So I was poised up like this, like I was going to thrust that way, but then I snuck around the back. So he started to close that line, right? So he saw me postured up to try to get that thrust. So he was ready to hit that there. So as I got him to commit on that defense, there was an opening, if you could turn to the camera for us. So there was an opening, so he's closed on this line. There's an opening there. So what I did to get that line is I was presenting there, and I moved my tip behind my buckler to this side. So I was presenting that thrust it there, I came under and thrust on the opposite side of the buckler, and he wasn't ready for that. That was a cool little tricky doodle there.
I don't need y'all in for TikTok. I'm gonna go bring the kid home. I'm gonna take the dog with me.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about it. Rosie, I'm going to car.
Yep. That's reached over the top. Oh, that's good. have gone to. Should have pulled it up with the tires being lazy.
Last time I did it, do it again. Yeah. At the end of that, we were, I started coming back to Friday, and it's all like, more than I ever before. That's awesome. Yeah.
I swear that works. It looks so goofy, but it works. I swear. Fair enough. Oh.
I keep going here, but I need to go here.
Yeah. That line's not getting close.
How wet are you guys getting?
Not that bad. It's
Yeah.
fine.
How's
Not
chat?
any worse than like
Anything going on with chat?
Which is kind of sad.
Anything? I don't know.
At least the jacket.
You can.
I honestly can't check chat for YouTube.
What? Let me see what's going on with chat. You're a whole small to go.
Storm Butler? Yeah. I think that's the name of the day. Like, oh.
I got my right
Yeah.
here. Oh, that works.
I think it's fine. I'm doing too much of the time. You know that. Don't know what I'm doing with it.
Good stuff.
Can you hand me a bucket? Knock it over and stuff.
So to the person who said hit each other harder, we're applying a little bit of restraint here, just because of the fact that there's a lot of rain going on here. And so when we start to hit a bit harder, people tend to have a little bit more energy going on. So we're trying to keep it fairly constrained because the only like safe footing that they have is that rug that they're walking on. So that's a little bit limiting on the enthusiasm we can bring to this at the moment. If the rain breaks, we can relocate, but until then, we're kind of stuck here. How's the TikTok going?
Most of the people joining.
Yeah, that's all they've got to stand on at the moment. So we're trying to keep things fairly constrained. So they switched to, so we've got side sword and buckler now, which is a bit of a, the sword itself is a bit different now. So there's going to be a lot of overlap to what we were doing earlier, but now they've got a bit more length and a bit more nimbleness in that point. So you're going to see that point getting used a bit more than you were seeing earlier between us.
I considered grabbing that, but then you spoke up, so.
Yeah, I wanted it.
No, I need my dagger to have a basket on it.
Alright.
I'm not even sure how far it's 6 hours of wait there. Before we get my thumb on.
Yeah.
Everything's good out there?
Yeah, just the chairs getting knocked around a little bit.
That's nice. Another red sword to go with my block. That one is a good one.
Kippy, but I've aimed for.
So they're currently, they were in a bind there just then. That was, I like to describe it as playing a bit of a game of slaps, and you're sitting there feeling each other out, and you're kind of waiting for the
Yeah,
like
that doesn't work so well.
impulse of what the other person's doing to kind of inform your own decision.
Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more. It's like really. Leah better go up there.
I can give you, well, no, I guess I can give you foam.
Let's do one more. Yeah, nice.
Woo!
Let's do a string right here. Yeah.
Does the design on the shield make much of a difference, or is it a stylistic choice here? It's a good question. So most of these bucklers, it's just there's some subtle like distinctions in what they're looking for.
It's the same thing, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Josh, do you find that the ribs on your buckler do much?
There's a chance that they might catch and allow it to kind of turn off, especially if I'm actively turning. So the flutes do have some sort of a purpose, but I wouldn't rely on them. You know?
It's just a little passive perk.
Yeah.
Would an inverted bump on the buckler be better to catch a blade rather than divert it? So I've seen some bucklers that have blade catches built into them, Sometimes they are concave, so like if you catch a thrust on it, it directs the thrust towards to the center of the buckler rather than away. And I've seen some that have like deliberate ridges added for the purpose of catching those. But there's different from it being like a raised buckler, rather like an actual like addition, a sort of rail almost that has a gap to it that can catch. Or a raised rim around the edges. There are several ways to achieve that desire. Depending on the buckler, that center boss is also where your hand is. So it depends on the buckler. Some bucklers, your hand sticks out a bit further, but other bucklers, your hand is actually inside, at least partially inside that boss there. So it's also, in some cases, a necessary addition for the coverage. So if you think about the handle being like in line with that outer edge. Oh, that was a nice beat. Where do you recommend to start if one would like to get into HEMA? Also, any tips for starting? Any recommendations on where to get swords like the ones you're using? Let's see. There are so many places where we like to get our swords from. And I feel like it kind of changes the flavor of the week almost. I think where we're buying our swords from.
There's so many good options right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, so one like hallmark or like pillar of the industry here is Regenier for sure. Their longsword setters are fantastic.
Josh can speak to side sword probably.
Yeah, we can ask Josh his recommendations for side swords. He's got all that. But yeah, if I had to recommend one place to go for a longsword, it'd be probably Regenier. Let's see. Getting started in HEMA though, my recommendation would be to go to the HEMA Alliance Club Finder website. That is probably your best bet to get started and see if there's a club in your area. And then I would get in touch with that club and see what's going on, what they've got going on there, and they should be able to kind of start to get you in the right direction. So that right there, we saw a classic defense of the leg. So you might be wondering, why are we spending so much time guarding up top and we don't have that many guards where we're actually covering the legs? Well, because the solution to a leg shot is often just move the leg away. So by merit of their arms being attached at their shoulders, that means if they want to reach low, they necessarily have to lower their reach to achieve it. Which means that a shot to the lead leg, can usually be avoided just by moving the leg back. So you don't necessarily need to actually do anything to cover it. And if you move that leg away and they're really committed to that leg shot and you avoided it, you can generally get a shot towards their head while they're all the way down there.
You wouldn't happen to have a stone charger, would you?
We've got the other. We got one. I mean, we got 30 here and like 20 over there. I mean, that's 50 people watching right now. That's about as many as we get to like demo live videos. And we had. How's it feel then to 500 or 300 people watching you?
Still using that. I look forward to seeing the clip of you falling to the internet. That shows up on our touch video if the clip of me slipping and hurting my head ends up on r/WNA.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't express more concern. I thought you were trying a sneaky trick.
Oh yeah, no, I
That's
found
why I was just
one
kind of
spot.
standing there like, oh, that was a cool trick. I was just standing there like, why isn't it getting up?
I'm not getting up because I'm like, oh, that hurt.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Now you're hurt.
I can still stand, so we're okay.
Oh. Bumblebee, send it. That's what Kat says.
Too bad he's not on camera.
Yeah, you're hiding outside. Bring it back. Well,
He sent it, just not on camera.
yeah, you sent it all right.
What's up?
They said send it Bumblebee, but not on camera. They're kind of half on camera. GG. Oh yeah. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good.
What else do you want to try while we have?
Feeling warm.
Feeling warm.
Good.
Nothing we pull out. What have we not
Actually, Colin is steaming.
Steaming.
Raging Bumblebee.
Raging bumblebee. Beware the bumblebee. He thirsts for blood.
Yeah, do some sword and dagger. You want a side sword?
Yeah, that's my rapier.
I brought my dagger in, I think.
Suman says, okay, Robin, let's see it.
See what?
I don't know. It.
It. See, I don't want to see him.
And I guess that means they want to see you fight.
Oh yeah. Ooh, cram my hands back into these. Oh, they're all wet. Gross.
That's the best part.
Oh, it's so soggy. I'm just gonna smooth my sword because it flies out of my hand. This is not supposed to look black.
Yeah. Well. What sword are you doing?
What?
Your dagger?
Yeah, I figured it's gonna pull out. Put this to the test, my new one. Yeah, that works.
Ooh.
My new one. First time ever using it. Woo! Woohoo! We're gonna get soggy. It's gonna be fun. Oh, I got you again? All right.
That's okay, we all root for them.
This will be interesting. That's a good thinking here. Yeah.
You know what? This is real
Oops. That's fine. Metal on metal. Oh, that was a stab into the whole. Where'd that go? That was like bicep and then into the hand with the dagger.
So,
Hey,
big difference between these other factor
I like that hand. Oh, staged by my knuckle bout. I felt like a ping on it. Oh, there it
This
is.
is structured in your arm, right? You can line your thumb up with the rest of your arm. So I end on my cuts here. So this allows me to kind of push it. And it's almost like what you would do if you had a long sword. You're not playing a bunker. Kind of gives you the same thing. Whereas that one doesn't have it. Yeah. So you don't have that push. It bothers me. But this one does.
Yeah. I feel like that. Even better when it comes on camera earlier.
Oh,
Valiant.
cheeky.
Look at that. I don't like this team in general. I mean, there's some things. Well, it feels
Their steel has been declining a bit too. Depending on the thinness of the blade, but
Yeah. So, that is good. You're about to that
Ah,
that was all kind of a bad day.
I thought I had you. I thought you were stuck on the sword. I thought I had the line. I didn't realize the dagger was what was actually holding you back. Straight for the thighs. Oh. Oh, stuff in the way. All right. It's currently raining. Not as bad as it used to. We got poured on and a little bit of thunder. So not particularly ideal.
I really like it. Besides for the periods. Yeah.
Now, if it clears up a little more and we got space, we might move it down outside. But at the moment, this carpet is kind of what we have to step on and not slip.
Yeah, one through.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'm good to go like 5 more. And then
5 more?
Oh. I just had something in my eye.
Do you want to do sword alone?
Sure.
The last 5? Sword alone for the last
Here,
5.
hand me a dagger. Pointy end first. I like it.
Yeah,
Oh god.
I don't have the option for that. Interesting.
It is a lot of fun.
Oh, you good?
Ooh, yeah.
And one
We have a lot of fun doing it. Even in the rain.
Yeah, and that's why we're staying on the rug so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was distinctive.
Is it 2 more?
Sure. Oh.
I just failed. Hand snipes are valid.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, back to that one. Right?
Yeah, it's just a good one. How's the ring feel?
Not bad, honestly. It's lightening up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Ugh.
Oh, found a wasp.
Oh, lovely.
Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is.
If you grab my dagger, you want to do sword and dagger?
Okay. I tired up my arm.
Yeah,
How's
Strategic plan on Josh's part.
the hill look back there?
the hill was pretty soft. when
Oh,
was
soft?
Looking at it, yeah. I noticed a lot of trippy stuff.
I need a Gatorade bottle with me. Thank you.
What you contemplating there?
Oh. Ugh. Stress in the arm.
That's kind of picturesque. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything in chat on either end?
Negatory.
You need to click on YouTube to pop and show.
Ooh.
These are her favorite
Oh.
things. So we just open one, the next.
I just realized there was wasps there.
What?
There's a nest right there.
Oh. That would do it.
Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah.
They look old though.
You get that.
See how often we actually open the door.
They look old. Oh, now it's not old.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's less old now that there's a wasp like hanging there.
Doggy doggy.
Oh, it's gonna be tight.
You can get an angle here. Rob would say howdy if he wasn't currently fighting. Should take us one step back. Unless somebody wants to manage chat on YouTube, I can come back here. I'm just trying to get an angle that doesn't suck. Yep. Yeah. This is peak HEMA. In the rain, slippery surface.
We have, firefighters.
Yeah. 5 down to 4.
Mark casualty.
Turns out, slippery mud makes you hurt your knees.
Very grazing across the side there. It's close. Got the worst of that one.
Yeah.
You press the little chat button and then hit live chat and it'll come back up. Oh.
Happy Sunday.
So focus on more at the hands. Will tell you where the point and blade will be. You just kind of have to get used to it. And a lot of times, even for the fighters, it's hard to tell who hit first. So we usually, if we hit around at the same time, we just call it a double. Because in real life, if we both hit each other at about the same time, we'd both be dead or injured. So usually when you see a connection and then no follow-up from the person who got connected with, then you can score that a clean blow. And oftentimes you'll see us calling our own hits.
Yeah. Two more?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, this is a Tiger Way fight.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
And
That second to last thrust looked fun.
there's sweat in my eye.
Oh yeah. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
If you're hanging in the chat, if you've got any questions.
Is that the purple heart Mario right here?
What?
Is that the purple heart? That looks really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you like it?
I like it pretty well. I have trouble like with the sparring gloves getting. Feeling like I have good like it. Basically, if you see how it's turned,
Yeah.
that's where it settles,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
annoying. But I've got the glove thing, not a sword thing, so yeah, whatever.
Wanna try the box?
Well, for the moment. Oh, I'm alright for now. That's whew. Arm said no more at that point.
Let's see. To Alex or not to Alex asks, what's the worst injury you have sustained?
I had a broken finger that still hasn't healed right.
Oof. Yeah. Ben?
I had broken ribs and a sword in the eye.
Ah.
So the wooden sword hit me right at the bridge, like the bone right over my ridge, and my face went numb. Back in a stupid day for people. Some people that do this, right? But yeah, I took no masks, like wasters. Took a sword, hit me right there, probably cracked something, pinched a nerve. So like my eyes swelled shut, and then my face was numb for a while. I was pinched and like finally gonna work it out. So it was stupid days of fighting with no masks.
Yeah.
Wasters. And that was the same thing that I was broken with ribs. So it showed you how stupid that kind of thing was. Like, yeah, it was 2 ribs underneath my arm. Same thing, wooden waster thrust. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Broken ribs.
Broken ribs?
Yeah. Probably 2 ribs this side.
Yeah.
Ouch. I'm not looking forward to that ever happening.
It's less likely
Yeah.
these days. Yeah.
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 Injuries
What's over there?
Worst injury? Maybe a sprained thumb.
Yeah.
Just bumps and bruises.
It's been a while since I've had that. That was 15 years ago.
Now worst wrestling injury? That's a whole different story.
Let's see. Okay,
Completely dislocated my rib.
we've got some questions in the chat on the phone that came up. Let's see here. What's some of the stuff that came up? How do you predict the strike? Gretchen Lawler asks, how do you predict the strike? Do you look to it at a certain point or points on the body for clues? Wrists, shoulders, hips, foot movements, for example?
Well,
Memory,
that's-
honestly.
yeah, I mean, you get used to patterns. You look at, for me, I read body, just overall body. You can't watch sword. Sword is too fast.
Sword lies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, looking at body position, and then also feeling where they are in that position, right? Like that's we do a lot with feeling and feeling. Like you know you're in a bind, you can feel whether someone's leading off, or whether they're pushing in, or whether they're giving, or how taking, and from those responses, you're kind of pre-program ways to close lines that you expect things to happen on. And then the game turns into trying to understand people's pre-programming and second, like trick them with it, right? And that's where it gets really deep and complex.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
I think that's a fine enough answer. Love yellow love yellow drip man's got that lethal banana look. Look at that lethal banana.
That sounds like somebody I know.
Lethal banana drip.
And,
Hello from Yorkshire, England. Hello.
Wow. Hello. Hey.
Oh, this is actually a fun one. Do you feel like stopping and starting multiple times during a bout trains your body to stop during a more serious match?
It can.
It can. Yeah, it can.
It can. Yeah, we're stopping and starting here a lot more too because space is limited and things are slippery.
Yeah.
What we try to do is continue through and leave in defense,
Mhm.
but it's a little artificial here because
Yeah.
we're trying to be safe with a lot of really slippery wetness. But
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, especially in tournaments where that afterblow can potentially like score points or throw out points or whatever. Like you have to be mindful of that afterblow. It's definitely important to, and also just for your own safety, because sometimes people just don't people don't hear stop sometimes, and they try to, or they're like mad and they're trying to hurt you in that. They shouldn't, but it happens in tournament, and so it's important to always keep a mind towards withdrawing safely when you're in those sort of high stress environments, because there's no guarantee that they'll stop when the judge tells them to stop.
Yeah. In the Bolognese cells, they always had a rule that you had to take one step back before you kind of finish the engagement. So there was always a cover, and so there was kind of a built-in afterblow rule where they could hit you until you had taken one full step back. So like it was kind of something that even in period they were aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in reading Meyer, all of his plays include like 2 to 3 withdrawing cuts that are just meant to just get out of there. They're not like aimed at anything. It's just after you've done whatever your device is and you've landed or not landed that blow on the withdrawal, it's basically like throw these cuts to clear the space and withdraw safely, and beating aside whatever comes in. So I feel like that's really solid advice from them.
in a competitive world, that one-step advice is kind of actually what fueled some of the early HEMA tournament mentality for what an afterblow should be defined as.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of changed over the years to the point where now we're measuring afterblows that feel, in my opinion, faster and faster.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like
It's
the, it went to the
well, it's an
top down,
afterblow,
yeah.
but it used to be that was still double, right?
Yeah.
And the afterblow is still like a timing of a step, but things change for better or worse, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah. So to summarize, yes, it can totally build the wrong habits, and it's important that you also train to not build those habits. So it's important to not get too hung up on that, and practice with safe withdrawals for just to preserve yourself for points, and to preserve yourself physically from potential bad actors or accidents in a tournament setting.
Yeah. One thing to consider too, this is like comes from Manchiolino, but he talks about how it's better to get close because it's better to get hit by the strong of the sword than it is from the point that matters, which is like the point of percussion or the point of the sword. And so he actually says like keep pursuing, just because if they hit you, it's not going to hurt you as bad,
Mm-hmm.
which is also super fascinating.
Yeah, closing in or like just getting past them too. Just close and then run past.
Yeah, like move out.
Especially like an Uberlauf. Like if you pull one of those off against somebody who's not ready for it, it'll hit and then they'll be gone, and you're like, where'd they go? They just pulled a magic trick on you. You
He
have
does that to me all the time.
you have no idea where they went. They're just gone.
Maybe jerk off him?
Yeah, Dirk Luffin on Overwatch.
I've got another question over here.
Okay.
HEMA seems like the middle ground between LARP and Boohurt. Why did Boo land on HEMA?
No ground between LARP and Boo. I would say Boo. I feel like Boo hurts the middle ground between HEMA and LARP. There's a certain like persona to Boohurt that I feel like pushes closer towards
I
LARP.
don't think there's like a binomial. I don't think there's like a single continuum. Right?
Uh-huh.
I think there's characteristics that are more complex.
It's just a weird graph.
Hexagonal thing.
It's just a bizarre graph.
Yeah. I think there's things that we do that Boohurt doesn't do, that LARP doesn't do.
Yeah.
There's things they do that we don't do, and it's a bit more complex of a weird Venn diagram, I think. I mean, I guess to speak to that, I think all of us would be unrealistic to say that we're not imagining and having some fantasy in what we do, right? Like, we're not putting on personas, but, we are imagining what it would be like and trying to put ourselves in the perspective of what you would be in that circumstance. So we share some things, I think, with LARP, and it would be disingenuous of us to say otherwise.
Absolutely.
And some parts of HEMA do like the more tournamenty, physically aggressive, athletic side of what you did in Boohurt. Some sides of HEMA tend to be more reconstructive, more research-based. There's a kind of I guess, HEMA's a Big Ten too, so the similarities.
A lot of crossover as well.
Yeah.
We're closing in on the 2-hour mark here. Let's see. We have a question here. Would a Counter-Strike ever count more than the first hit in a HEMA competition?
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
depends on the
like
boost.
if you're
Yeah.
like in Sword and Buckler, even with Sword and Dagger. We had that one exchange route where I went feinted a thrust and then tried to cut your leg. You cut over top and hit me in the head.
Uh-huh.
I mean, in most instances, even though I like grazed your knee, the fact that you just like
Had a
bring
free
me on
shot
top of
just
the
to...
head. And I missed my cover over top means that I lost that exchange by all intents and measures. I think even in a HEMA tournament, you would usually say it's a double, but I mean if it's like a point awarding kind of thing, then you would give it more to the.
I think the tricky thing is that there's no governing body in HEMA in terms of, so we have so much variety in terms of the kinds of rules that you would have. Some tournaments would definitely say, you know what, the higher point count, like if there's both things happen in an exchange, the higher point count is going to win. Some would say first preferences over the second, depending on the rules. So there's rules that they probably do both.
Yeah. Just start region, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
mine probably wouldn't have counted at Queen's Gambit. His would have.
Yeah.
Right, but if we were at like studying steel, then it would have been 1 point for me, 3 points for you, off our life meter. So
Yeah.
Whew. This is a heavy jacket.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Actually, oh god. Can one-handed swords such as Messers be used against a two-handed sword such as Claymore?
You sure?
You could try.
I would maybe more, if I'm going against the Claymore, cover and then go for a grapple. But
I'd probably, if I had like a messer, I'd probably go for some sort of half sword close. I think I'd be like sitting there waiting, like I feel like I'd probably be taking up some sort of like some sort of waiting posture and seeing if I can get that close in against the blade and close down the blade in some way and come in.
Yeah.
And that's my best bet.
treat it against the spear.
or
And
throw it and run away.
Yeah, or run away. And that's always a good option.
I would say we like to classify things, so we're thinking Messer, Claymore, but in reality, it's a little more fluid than that. Like, even with two swords of the same type, like long swords, for example, where one has 4 or 5 inches of reach on the other one, the way you fight has to adjust. And so I think along that entire continuum, you might have a very short sword and a very long sword, and you have to adjust the way you fight. You could do it. But it even happens among swords that are closer in size, right? You have to compensate for some of the disadvantages of what you're using all the time. But then there's advantages too, right? Like when you get closer with the shorter sword, you can wrestle easier. You can do shorter, close-in things, schnitt and slices easier than you could with longer swords. So you just have to play to your strengths.
She just wants attention.
She does. She gets very jealous. There's a dog fussing down here. Let's see. 5 minutes till it's been 2 hours. So I think we're all fought out at this point. We should get some good fights in. I mean, I think all things considered.
Yeah, the one thing I did was great.
I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah.
You got a hit. You might have tripped, but you got the hit.
Oh, I did.
I mean, you hit my leg.
Oh.
I don't know how great a cut it would have been on, but it would have hurt.
I was mildly distracted.
I might have just had a little flap of calf hanging around. But, Ugh.
Excuse you.
Oh. You could show off your shiny gem.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Come over here.
Baby. The brand new book again. Then I've been told you are taking the final charge with you.
Yes.
Oh, for Mr. Eric Wood?
Yeah.
Play it right at me. It's very easy. This looks really cool.
Oh, that is covered in water. Why is that covered in water? Uh-oh. Where's my rag? Under that cover. Oh, this thing's not sharp. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be sharp.
Was it supposed to be sharp or?
Yeah, it was supposed to be sharp. I mean, this one might be actually. No, it's not.
I remember the term butter knife sharp going around.
Yeah, I was doing the whole butter knife sharp. My thing is butter knife sharp. Nobody else uses.
Yeah, mine's definitely got a flat edge to it.
I figure we can at least show off all of it.
They look cool.
They do look cool.
And Brandon's got one for a bit. Yeah, the dog fight is not nice. And then I got. I meant to use my shield, but I guess I can wait. I love having hell ceilings. It's great for pole arms.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I would have stabbed my apartment ceiling again.
That's fine. Now let's see here. Someone asked, but would you prefer a messer or a katana?
Personal preference, really.
Personal
Depends whether they
preference.
want to cut through other swords or not.
That depends, yeah, that depends on how much you need you.
I mean, they're both really cool.
I mean, personally,
They're all.
I just like the balance of the
I
messer
think I have to
better.
get it in front. There we go.
You
And
can
I like
kick
the
my back
the
out of the way.
inherent attachment of grappling with it. Katana is, from what I've seen, pretty similar to longsword.
The real question is why do you have to choose between the two?
Yeah, this
True.
is
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah, but it's-
Questionnaire, why do we have to choose between
Yeah,
items? Are we like
it's the-
halfway between Japan and Holy Roman Empire?
I haven't heard back. It's been like 2 weeks. I don't think they're gonna come. I think they're avoiding us at this point. They're like, oh, just be quiet. Maybe if I ignore them, they'll go away. Yeah, again, like I like the work.
Intimidating.
Here's
You know, as a shark looking.
Oh my goodness.
billhooks. Billhooks have this like just. I feel like billhooks have this meanness to them.
Yeah, it's a tool, and it feels like, okay, now this is a tool for, instead of
Tool,
cutting
yeah.
branches, it's cutting people down.
Mhm.
It's psychological for sure.
Anybody in chat have any questions about the pole arms?
Yeah, anybody got questions?
Or something this is going to be like a rare opportunity to actually talk about that all in one place. That one's going.
Is it heavy? I may pick that over the spear.
Not very.
All of them are about the same weight.
Mhm.
Probably like 6 or 7 pounds.
Yeah, I think the distinction between all of that one feels. Like when I was holding them, that one feels different. These two feel about the same. That one feels a bit different. The meat of the blade being up there so far, I can really feel it.
Yeah. My mom says that balance of the weapon is an aspect that she didn't really consider, but is a highly important factor.
Mhm.
I'd say oftentimes that's the main difference, is balance between weapons. It's like how the point of balance feels and how long the handle is really where most of the difference in how you use the weapons comes from.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Changes the way you look. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm out of here. I just look over, partisan.
Start brandishing the pole arms.
Rob is
Take
extremely
5 steps
wet.
back from the queen's quarters.
Oh, this is sweat.
Oh, no, yeah, actually, it's just sweat.
Yeah,
Entirely
that's
sweat.
sweat. That's sweat. I'm a damp boy.
Height and strength. Somebody's asking about the importance of height and strength with this stuff.
Height and strength.
Yeah, as physical attributes.
Okay.
As the person
I
wielding it?
assume.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Useful.
anytime you're taller and you have a longer weapon, you can kind of project your lean, right? So I'm 6'3", and if I project forward, I can really kind of like, if I have a longer weapon, I can kind of keep that forward strength. A little bit because you do want to be able to sort of counter leverage. I mean, you can extend more, and you'll have more strength to bring the blade back in presence. But I mean, really, these weapons are such a neutralizing, anybody can pick them up kind of weapon, and like naturally kind of figure out for the most part how to fight with them. Like some of them are a little more specialized. Like obviously this has a very specialized sort of way of going about it, but and then again, it's also really simple, right? Like you have a hooking part, which is usually used for like hooking people who are on horseback, and then you have a stabbing bit, which is pretty, you know, pretty obvious what you gotta do with it, right? Whereas like, you know, partisan, you have the wings to catch,
Well,
but it takes
I
a little
would
more-
say I
little
still
more
have the partisan one. I would say
Yeah, for sure.
that top hook right there. That's
Yeah.
the same beast.
Yeah, you can still, it's called like forking or like penning, and the one is a traditional pen.
Everyone put googly eyes like on the side of it. Make it look like a little bird. He's very cute. It kind of does look like a bird, honestly.
It does, yeah.
Like, it's got like a little crest.
Yeah. Yeah, like you get them like up here.
Yeah, you know,
So
crest,
it's like
eyes.
his beak right
There's
there.
there's a little tonguey. There's like a wing sticking out the back. Like his wings like folded up and sticking out the back. And he's got his foot and then his tail. Well, I think I've held you guys for about as long as I can. I guess so I'm gonna say we're probably about 2 hours now. So I'm gonna do last call for questions. It's weird not being able to see the screens for once. It's always weird.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do last call for questions, and then we're gonna wrap things up. And an awkward silence while we wait for the stream to catch up. Like a 30-second delay.
Oh, I was gonna say, how long is your delay?
There's like a 30-second delay, so we can sit here and wait. Oh no, my patch is shriveled up.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm gonna have to iron that out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is my mom says, is there a weapon to warrior matching consultant?
Weapon to warrior matching consultant.
Yes. But like if I came into your guys' office, I'm like, okay, 3 wise kings. Which weapon should I use for my body type?
I think that's the thing I usually serve, like Josh was saying earlier about like how weapon becomes great equalizer. I find that generally speaking, it's not a question of what sword should I use for my body type. It's how do I size my sword to whatever X, Y, Z sword I want? How do I size that to me? And what qualities do I want that sword to exhibit? Because the same sword held by 2 different people is going to have different quality. You know, if someone's like this tall and I hand them my long sword, then it's going to be like a great sword on them. And then if they give me their long sword, I'm going to be like, what's this hand and a half sword here? So that's kind of the sort of the question. Like different swords will be different swords to different people. And it's like, so rather than thinking like, what sword should I use? It's more like, how can I, it's almost like you need a tailor to who, you know, like, yes, these are the options, these are the qualities that you're going to yield from choosing this sword for yourself as opposed to this sword for yourself.
Yeah. And then when it comes to certain sword types too, I think like part of being a teacher is also kind of like teaching people how to maximize their body for the weapon that they're using. Because taller people have a different tactical framework, and like it takes a different tactical mindset that they can assume versus people who might be a little bit shorter. And so like being able to kind of like teach that, like Vigiani speaks to that. He talks about how taller fencers should stay in high guard instead of their point on line, just kind of like pointing down at people. Call it the guard of the unicorn, which is fantastic because you're just kind of like holding that sword down like it's a unicorn horn. Whereas like he says like shorter people should stay in lower guards and like kind of like defend first and then attack. So like you can get some historical anecdotes as well of like kind of teaching to fight with weapons based on body type.
It's interesting that you say that because I have naturally found a lot of success in just
Yeah.
sitting
What's
out here.
intimidating? You're a big man.
Yeah.
Like, that point starts coming down at you, and you're
And
like,
it's really easy at sneaking over like you kept doing to me. I was like, I'm good. How?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but my arms are so long and I'm so tall that like kind of cut whip around.
Yeah.
I'm able to like cut a lot of weird corners on people.
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Any other questions coming?
I'm good over here.
Everybody was introduced at the start of the stream,
Yeah, we can go through it again.
but yeah, sure.
Yeah, might go wrapping things up. Just to go. I don't know. Left the.
Start with me.
Yeah.
Go that way.
Yeah, we can talk,
All right.
introduce ourselves and.
We want to say something else? Or
Yeah, I guess, yeah, closing comments, be like, you've got an audience here, what do you want to tell the audience about, like, what do you want to tell them about HEMA to take away from all of this?
do it. I mean,
Do it.
just give it a try if you're interested. Find a club near you. So I'm Ben Strickling, just to kind of intro myself out. I kind of helped found Triangle Sword Guild, and currently am focusing on teaching the Kunst des Fechtens group, which is kind of 15th century longsword style stuff. So
You all know me, so there's no reason for me to talk to you. They all know me.
Joshua Weist, also the Triangle Sword Guild, World Triangle Sword Guild.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been doing this for about 6 years. I think best part of HEMA is just the fact that you can combine something that's like relatively athletic with something that just like totally feeds your nerd. I like to nerd out on history, and this just kind of gives me the best of both worlds. So I love it.
I'm not sure I'll make the camera. When he's actually in frame. I'm the least important person here right now.
I guess. I've been behind the TikTok camera for a while, but my name is Andrew Edgar. I'm actually one of Rob's students. I've been doing this for the last year and a half or so, and as well as longsword and broadsword saber. Honestly, like akin to what everybody else has said, like if you want to try it, like hopefully there is a club near you, and check out the HEMA Alliance club track. Is that what it's called?
HEMA Alliance Club Finder.
HEMA Alliance Club Finder, and see if there's a club near you. Depending on what they're doing, you can drop by, see what they're about. I'm sure people will love to tell you what they do. But in terms of something that like get you up off the post-pandemic couch and get you moving and stuff like that, I've had a ridiculous amount of fun doing this for the last year and a half, and look forward to continuing to do it with the rest of y'all.
Woo!
I'm Colin Waller. I've been doing HEMA with TSG for about 2.5 years now. If you like martial arts and you like history and you like having fun with your friends and pretending you're a knight or a swashbuckler or anything, this is the place to really do it for real, and it's a great community, and you get a lot of experiences in HEMA that you won't get anywhere else, for sure.
I would say, just chime in over here, the family aspect of it is pretty great too. Just putting that one out there. Just to, you have sort of like found family in your club, and then the larger HEMA community as well it's a very like not always the most wholesome place, but it's a good
offline.
it's on off
Online is
it's
The internet's the internet.
yeah, the internet's the internet, but yeah, HEMA events, everybody is your friend at a HEMA event, and it's a wonderful experience, and it's great to be with like-minded people on that, and you're all just having a fun time. We all love swords. I think that's as good a place as any to wrap things up. So thank you everybody for joining me and for coming to help me celebrate the big old button there on the wall. Let me get one last look at the little button. Ugh. Yeah, that big shiny button on the wall. Thank you everybody for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And yeah, that about wraps it up.
I think I got it on this one. Nice. That was